Hello, my name is Ricky Vallejo. For those of you who have went through higher education, have you ever considered how much money you have invested or how much money you could have saved if you were able to go to college a long time ago? A couple of decades ago, college could be paid off by working a part-time job while attending school full-time. But now a full-time job is needed, and it still might not be enough to pay off, leaving many students to accept loans to make it through college and then to be in debt after graduation. Today, I will try to persuade you all that America's education system needs to change for the better. You should know how it needs to change, and to do so, I will tell you what is wrong with it right now. The U.S. education system demands too much money and is not as effective as education in other countries, despite the U.S. being one of the top countries when it comes to politics and GDP and military spending. U.S. education is below average when compared to other countries, despite being a wealthy country. This is because a good portion of the money is spent on military spending, like defense or new weapons. If we were to spend less money on defense spending, which the US is the #1 country that does this, then we could probably lower the price of attending college or even make it free. On the slide that I'm about to show you, you can see that America is near the bottom half of the statistics. You can also see that America is below average in 2 subjects, that being math and science. The U.S. has high costs for attending college now compared to the 60s to 70s, which leads to less people attending college or even going into debt. On the next slide, you can see the change in the cost of tuition from 1967 to now. For a 4-year college, the tuition was around $2,600 in 1967, and now it costs around $9,650. That is nearly 4 times as much as the prior cost. And if you were to look at the next slide, you can see that in 1970, the average income was $47,500 with inflation adjusted. And in 2014, the average is $53,600. That means we only make 113% more dollars each year, despite college tuition being 371% more now. Yes, college costs increased due to inflation, but college costs have risen much faster than average inflation. Despite technological advances, the education system is still pretty much what it used to be and needs change. The U.S. continues to stick with standardized testing, which is bad because students are being taught how to take a test without being able to express their creativity or their individuality. In an article by the Washington Post, it says the obsession with high-stakes standardized testing is stifling creativity and imagination in the classroom. The standardized testing is also pressuring teachers who make low income to make their students do well on tests so they are not punished. If the U.S. were to remove standardized testing and replace it with a teacher being able to choose their curriculum, or have it so that the U.S. is following national goals altogether, then the students and teachers would be better off since they are allowed to be creative. To give you a comparison between the U.S. and another country, I'll tell you about Finland's education system. Finland is one of the top 10 countries, according to the first slide I showed you. Finland does not do standardized testing, nor do they have rankings. The schools are publicly funded by the government, and all the schools share the same national goals. The schools are small, where a teacher can recognize all the students and can be assigned to a student to watch for years. The Smithsonian says 93% of Finns graduate from academic or vocational high schools, 17.5 percentage points higher than the U.S., and 66% go on to higher education, the highest rate in the European Union. Yet Finland spends about 30% less per student than the United States. If the United States were to copy this, then maybe we could have a cheaper and better education system like them. As US citizens, we all have the right for a free education up to a point. But for those who want higher education, they have to cough up a lot of money unless they are lucky enough to get a full-ride scholarship. The US needs to spend less money on military spending or some other things so that they can start putting more money into education, such as cutting costs the companies make, such as Pearson, that take a lot of money from standardized testing. If we were to cut that and just put it into a better education system, then that would help a lot. And just like I just said, the US also needs to get rid of standardized testing and come up with national goals so that students and teachers can be creative with their work. Also, by giving teachers a better income, they will work harder, leading to better students. If America can change its education system for the better, then people can get a good education without having to go broke, which will lead to a better economy where there are more people with an education. Thank you.